we're so happy to have you here today.
Thank you.
You are our Faculty of the Month this month. Do you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Heather Spudich, and I'm the science teacher.
I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here.
Okay.
And we're going to go from there. Why did you choose to become a teacher?
So when I started with college, I was going to be pre-veterinarian. And when I enrolled in school, my advisor suggested that while I did the pre-vet, I also got a teaching certificate so that during the second 4 years of school, I could support myself and work. So I switched majors really quick.
You found out that you liked teaching more than you
Yes.
liked.
Yep.
How long have you been a teacher?
This is my 18th year.
Now, if I remember correctly, I do know you didn't always teach here.
No, I've taught in Pike County for 4 years, and then I taught in Laredo, Texas for 8 years.
Where is Pine?
Pike County?
Yes.
It is Calhoun, Hardin. The town I taught in was called Campsville. Or no, that's the town I lived in. The town I taught in was Pleasant Hill.
Oh, Pleasant Hill. Was it pleasant?
Oh, it was very nice.
Why did you choose a science career?
So obviously I was going to be pre-vet. I've always been interested in science.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite subject in school.
That all?
Yeah, that I like.
You just
science.
like science?
Just
Is there
like
any
science.
certain science classes that you particularly enjoyed that pushed you on to this?
So in Staunton we had a Bio 2 class, which was kind of like my anatomy and physiology class.
So I'm guessing you took that and
Yes.
it just...
Yeah.
Did anyone influence you to become a science teacher or a teacher in general? Well, of course, obviously, your professor.
Right. So that person that suggested I get a teaching certificate, obviously. But really it was the students that I started observing with. Started working with kids, learning that I preferred doing that to continuing on my education.
How was your first couple of years as a starting out teacher?
Starting out as a teacher is always rough. My first teaching job was actually as a middle school science and math teacher. So in Pike County, I taught middle school math and science my first 4 years. I was also a basketball coach, a track coach, a scholastic bowl coach.
Man, you
First
were
year
really
teachers
busy.
really get a lot of work.
I guess it gets easier as the year goes by.
Sometimes.
Besides your veterinarian things, was there anything else you wanted to do?
Not really. That was it. And then, like I said, I switched and I haven't looked back.
Well, I know you said as a starting out teacher you did a lot of things, but how about currently now? What classes do you have? Do you do any extracurricular stuff?
So currently, I am the senior class sponsor with Miss Davis. I also run the concession stand for the school, for the high school, and I am the spring play supervisor.
The spring play. Is there anything interesting that you're doing with this year?
So this year we're going to do Clue, and it's on April 11th and April 12th.
We'll have to save the date, won't we?
We will.
How's that going so far?
Well, we are still in the process of buying the rights. You have to purchase the rights to put on a play and buying the scripts.
You got a good group of students helping you this year?
I do. This is the largest group I've ever had.
Well, you meet a lot of different people while you're teaching, especially as students come and go. What are some of your fonder memories with students? I know we have a couple interesting people here.
You do. So I would say doing the play has had a lot of interesting times. It's a way to interact with students outside the more structured part, like a classroom. So you learn a lot about kids when you're not in the classroom with them.
Do you find that helps you create stronger bonds with the students?
Yes, definitely. Anytime you can interact outside of the normal classroom, or you can talk about things that kids are interested in, you build a better bond.
Having a good bond, I imagine, helps a fair bit with teaching, especially whenever you're teaching things like science, math, English.
It does, because science is hard. And sometimes people don't want to do it. But if you have a good enough bond, sometimes they'll at least start just because you like each other.
That always helps. I know last year you went on a field trip for advanced bio. Do you have anything else like that planned this year?
So this year we'll go back to SLU for anatomy and physiology, and we'll go into their cadaver lab. So the students will actually get to see the bodies that the medical students work on. We'll do the science Olympiad. We'll do the science day at Blackburn. So there are 3 field trips.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're the senior class sponsor. How's it been seeing the seniors grow up and change in these past 4 years?
It's a lot of fun because you get to grow with them. You get to watch them grow up, and you become someone that they trust and will talk to.
Do you have any fun stories about those times, or frankly, any time you've worked in this school or any other school?
There's a lot of stories, Lily. But just to pick one is really hard. Like,
Pick your top 3 then.
you want me to do 3?
Yeah, don't be
Oh,
scared.
boy. Okay. I would say the play last year
What
was
was
a
the
lot
play?
of fun. It was Employees Must Wash Hands Before Murder. So it was a mystery. Kaylin Wall was the tapeworm, and she wore a tapeworm costume, so that was hilarious. When we dissect cats in anatomy is a lot of fun because students get to see actually what the muscles look like. You don't get to see that unless you actually take that class. Taking them to SLU is a lot of fun. Last year when I hit the curb with the bus,
Oh, I've heard about that
was a lot of fun. Well, it wasn't fun, but I'm still hearing about it from students. So
I heard that your famous quote was, "Hold on."
hold on, yeah. Well, I didn't get excited.
You're a great teacher.
Thank you.
Are definitely the type of teacher that people hate when they have to like do your work and in your classes, but they love you every other time,
This
which
is true.
is a pretty typical sign of a really good teacher.
Well,
Current
thank you.
students hate you, past ones love you.
Well, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you feel like mentioning?
Not really.
Well, when did you come to this school actually?
2016.
A couple of years ago. I do the math, but I don't feel like it.
It's okay.
You taught math. How long has it been?
This is the 8th year, maybe. 8th.
8th. All right. Sounds accurate.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans further, like getting a higher education or anything
So-
like that?
I'm currently working on my master's in biological sciences,
Mm.
which means that anatomy and physiology can become a dual credit course. Once I finish this one, I'm going to get a master's in chemistry so that chemistry can become dual credit.
So in the next couple of years, you're gonna have a couple dual credit classes.
Yes, and then so for college, you have to have 7 credit hours in science,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them has to be a life science, and one of them has to be a physical science. Once I have both masters, students at Mount Olive will have the potential to finish all their college science courses before they go to college.
Well, that's a pretty big opportunity.
It is.
I heard that you have a new class this year for only seniors, if that was correct.
Physics.
Physics, yes. Could you tell us a little bit about that, since it is a new class to Mount Olive?
So, well, it's not new to Mount Olive. We
but
had
us.
it. Mr. Mueller retired. We had to build the program back up and make room in my schedule for it.
Mm-hmm.
So currently there are 6 students in physics. We've talked about vectors, and now we're doing projectile motion.
What is a vector?
It's, think about like the hypotenuse of a triangle, like the long side of the triangle.
There's 2 of those. I did not get a good grade in geometry. Let's just say
It's the
that.
side across from the right angle.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
So physics is a lot of math. So the prerequisite for physics is calc or pre-calc.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Do you still teach any math classes, or have you dropped that behind you?
No, I'm only physics. That's the only math I'm teaching.
Only math.
Mhm.
Why did you stop teaching math classes?
Well, because I don't really carry a certification for math.
It was just kind of throw you in it, see how it goes.
Yeah, they needed a math and a science teacher.
Mm-hmm.
My certifications are, of course, all the sciences at the high school and middle school science, and I can do history at the middle school as well.
History too.
Yep.
Very interesting. Are your classes bigger this year than they were in prior years?
Anatomy and physiology is. Physics is bigger than it was when we had it last time. Chemistry has more this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd hope that physics has a little bit more people than last year, at least.
Well, there was none last year.
I'm trying to think of anything else that could be asked. How are you getting along with the new freshmen?
Good. I don't have all of them this year because Miss Nix is doing one of the general sciences.
Oh.
So she has some of the freshmen. We've switched the order that the science classes are occurring in. They're going to take general science and then biology.
Unlike how in my freshman year it used to be biology then.
General science.
Is there a big reason behind that, or
general science is kind of an introduction, so it's a little like tasting of all kinds of physical sciences. Biology is very in-depth study, so it gives you a year to mature before you take a harder class.
I'll tell you what, we were one of the only schools around that did it the other way.
We were. So we're flipping it so that now when students come in, yes, we're more organized.
Well, that's all I have to ask you. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I'm good.
Well, it was great having you on. We're so happy and very excited that we were able to do this. The Cat Connections is very happy. Handshake again.
Thank you.
That's all.